Alright, this video is going to be about this little gas tank here. I think it was 2 videos about doing a body work on it and painting it and stuff like that not too long ago. And I got over 100 comments asking why didn't I take the dents out. You know, because I actually took the bottom off and soldered a new bottom on. And want to know why I didn't take the dents out. And the short reason is because the metal is too thin. But I'm going to give you the long reason, and we'll show you exactly why. But I got and some of the comments were they were really interested on why I didn't take them out. You know, a couple of people, and they knew I didn't take them out for a reason, and they're curious about why. You know, like George and Ziggy and Reg. You know, a couple guys. You know, they're actually really interested. And the other comments were, you know, like, why didn't you take the dents out while you had the bottom off, you idiot? And that was one of the milder comments, but I don't want to tell you some of the names that was called. Most of them comments got deleted, so you won't see them. Some of them were left up, but this video is for the guys that were really interested in and why we didn't take the dents out. So I'm going to throw you up on a tripod, and I'll explain through and go through the whole process of why we didn't do what we did. So hang on, we're going up. Alright, here's the actual bottom that I took off of this tank, and I got a micrometer here, and I'll try to keep you guys in view, because sometimes I know I don't do that. But let's take the thickness of it. I cleaned off one corner here, and that corner there is pretty much solid. This was the corner that was really bad. So let's take a measurement here. Kind of awkward. Alright, I don't know what I did, but my micrometer ain't working here, so let me fix that. Okay. It's an electronic digital micrometer here, and I must have hit something, but it's modern technology for you. I'll try to hit any more buttons, but right now it's at 0. I don't know how well you guys can see that, or how much you're zoomed in. Let me see if I can zoom you in a little more. Hold on, we're going for a ride. Alright, here we go. I gotta say, it's pretty tough to hold this and mic at the same time. So, here we go. Bring it up here, I don't know if you guys can see. Like I say, it's tough. I'm looking at a little 1" by 2" screen. But anyway, it's 0.188. That's 18 thousandths. That's that's actually less than, is it less than, no, it's about 1/64 of an inch. And to give you an idea how thick that is, I got a cereal box here. I got the Lucky Charms because they're magically delicious. So let me mic the box here. And you can see it. I actually picked the box up with the micrometer, and that's tight. Even tight, it's 21 thousandths. So a cereal box is actually thicker than the metal that gas tank is made out of. And to straighten it out, everybody's saying, well, you know, you should have banged the dents out and banged this out and banged it. Well, you actually don't have to bang you don't have to bang nothing. You know, I mean, this is so thin and flimsy. Here's a strong corner here. You could bend it with your fingers. You don't have to bang nothing. But the reason I left them dents in is to make it a little structurally stronger. And the company, when they made these new, they actually did that. They actually put dents in. Here's the bottom. They actually pushed dents in to strengthen the metal. They didn't do it on the sides. Well, actually the sides. Let me start off with this. This actually starts out as one flat piece of metal, and then they get a die. Come on back, guys. You know, a big huge die that takes that flat piece of metal and presses it and shapes this thing So when you do that, you're stretching the sides, and then they make a little flare on the bottom, so then they're stretching that. So this whole tank is 18 thousandths, and it's bent and twisted and stretched to make that shape. And the sides are actually dented from the factory. I don't know if the sides were done on purpose to do that, but every tank I've ever come across that wasn't dented from the factory had slight dents in them, and that actually helped to strengthen everything. But the bottom, they actually put these in to keep it from oil canning, and that's what this thing does. If I had tried to straighten this, the whole tank would have been oil canning every time. And even on a hot day, you know, I hear the cans on the wall here that are filled with stuff, oil canning, just from, you know, condensation and stuff, you know, and everything else, expansion and contraction. But let me show you what oil canning is, because some of you guys might not know what it is. The old oil cans like this were designed so that when you push them, you know, the bottom will come in and out. So that's where the term oil canning comes from. And that's what this tank would have done here. And let me show you this tank. I got a couple of them. I picked this one up. This weekend at a show. And this one here, just by looking at them, I'll tell you right now that this one is older than this one, and I'll show you why. Because what they do, you could probably see it better on this one. They actually dented the tank, and it's, let me see, that looks like you can see it there. It's actually in the shape of a bow tie. It almost looks like the Chevy emblem, the Chevy bow tie emblem. But on this one, it's there. You can't see it as much, but that's what it is. It was dented so it wouldn't oil can. But I don't know if you can hear it. I'll take the lid off for you and close up on you here, but it does. The top oil cans and then the bottom oil cans. And like I say, that'll do that by itself. You don't have to punch that, you know, you just the right conditions. And I guess that was for a safety reason, you know, because if somebody looks in there to see if there's fuel, and then all of a sudden the bottom decides to pop up, you know, you got a face full of fuel. But you see how flimsy that is. I don't know if you can hear that. But anyway, why I say this one must be newer, because then they had the bow tie shape, then they actually put 3 more dents in there, and it actually strengthens it considerably. I can get an oil can out of this. Let me get the lid off so you can hear it. But I really have to try, like right here. You can barely hear it. But the rest of it, I mean, it's so strong. And it's all the same. It's 18,000 steel. So that's what it is. It makes it structurally stronger. Let me get a flat edge here for you. Hold on, guys. I'm going to shut it down for a second. Alright. I got the flashlight on behind it, so you're going to get a little bit of glare. But this here has 3 good factory edges on it. Factory sides, I should say. This one here, somebody dented by accident. But if you take a flat edge and put it up against there, I don't know if what I'm trying to do is going to work because I can't see it. But anyway, I don't know if you can see it or not. You could actually see there's plenty of space, that's the bad edge, between everything. So this, from the factory, these things are dented. And these weren't made to be, let me shut this off, let me get that light out of your eyes. When they made these gas tanks, they were made to hold fuel. They weren't made to look pretty, you know? And if there was a little bit of a swell and everything like that, that's fine. That held gas, and that's what it was meant to do. And nobody cared what it looked like, because it was going to go out in the field and get dirty and gassy and everything else, smelly, oily. So that's where we're at. Somebody's going to ask me why I didn't paint the bottom of this. Also, why didn't I put dents in it? This here, when I soldered that on, this piece of steel I put on there was like 3 or 4 times. Probably, I think it's 16 gauge, but you can't press this in. So. Then somebody else asked me, why didn't you bronze it? Why didn't you bronze the piece on? They didn't say braze or nothing. Why didn't you bronze it? All all gas tanks are bronzed. And I told him, I says, every gas tank I've ever encountered was always soldered. You know, it's just a common way of making them. And you put that much heat to this. Like I say, you could straighten that. I mean, I could straighten them dents and everything like that. You could actually shrink metal, you know, with heat and cold water, or there's other ways. There's hammers and dollies to actually straighten it, but it isn't worth it. You know, who's going to spend the time to do that on something like this? You know, I mean, that tank looks good enough for what it is. You know, and this one ain't perfect. You know, and I didn't even try to make it perfect because it's good enough for what we're going to use it for. All right, hold on. Yeah, I wanted to mention, that's the reason why they don't do body work on these newer cars, because the metal is just too thin. You know, back here, like this one here's a 1930. You know, back then, listen to that. You could do body work on that. I don't know what gauge that is, but man, that's crazy thick. And even on the 57, let's go check this fender out. You could do body work on this fender because it's, you know, listen to that. You're not going to find that on your newer, the newer junk that's on the road today. Okay, earlier when I said this was 18 thousandths, I think I said it was I don't know if you can see that. I said it was 0.18. It's actually 0.018. I said it correctly, just, you know, showed it wrong. So that's what it is. The thickness is 0.018. Ready. Also earlier, I also started to tell why I didn't paint the bottom of this. I think I never finished. Yeah, I was low on silver paint, and I wanted to try and get this done. So, you know, I just sprayed it like that, and with intentions, I was gonna prime this, you know, with a little brush and then paint it black or something, because you're not gonna see it. You know, it's gonna be sitting like that. You're never gonna see the bottom. So that was just to save paint, to make sure that I was able to finish that job. Yeah, actually, one of the comments, one guy was actually going to tell me. He was telling me how to straighten them dents, how to take them dents out. He told me get a ball peen hammer and use the peen end of it and knock it out with that. You know, so I appreciate that. I mean, anybody that uses a ball peen to straighten any kind of dent on a car or sheet metal like that, they to take that ball peen and hit himself in the head with it and try and knock some sense into them. And then a couple guys were interested. They want to know how long I've been doing it and what kind of experience I had and stuff like that. And I've been doing it for over 45 years. Actually had a body shop back in the 70s. 1975 to about 82 or 3. But yeah, I've been doing it quite a while. Some shops were actually still doing body work with lead on certain cars back then. But you know, I know how to do lead, but I haven't done it since probably 75 when I was shown how. Alright, just noticed the micrometer I got here is same color as our engine. It's hammer tone blue. A little different shade though. A little darker, nicer one. But that's professional. That's what. Let me see if I can come in a little closer. This is actually what hammer tone paint's supposed to look like. Like I said, I can't really tell what it looks like on this little baby screen, but that's professional hammer tone here. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, before I complete this, I want to thank everybody for their support. You know, I get a lot of great comments all the time, and great support, and I see the same names all over and over and over again, leaving great comments. I appreciate that. You know, that's what keeps us doing this. I want to thank all the patrons too, you know, for their donations and their support, and the people that come up to the shows. We had a show this weekend, and it was lousy. The weather was lousy. It rained steady, hard, all day long on a Saturday, and hardly anybody showed up. And then Sunday, we got quite a few people showing up, and you know, a lot of guys come over. They don't even introduce themselves. Something, say, "Oh, I see your videos. I love them. I watch them all the time, and it's good stuff." And we appreciate that. This weekend, I had a couple come all the way from Montreal. Said it was a 7-hour drive. I appreciate that, and it had been raining the whole time they were coming down. Christ, they needed a passport to come see me. Me and Mike. I should say Mike, because he's there with me all the time. And our buddy Rob gave us an extremely large donation. We appreciate that. He's our friend. He's the one with the Fairmount little train cars and stuff. He's donated before, and he's supporting us all the time. A young guy, Colin, he watches our stuff all the time, and Kai and Andy, appreciate them coming. And Stark Gray and his son Ed. I didn't get Stark Gray's name. I missed that. Sorry about that, but sometimes things don't register when you get my age. And our buddy Doug, he brought stuff for us. He gave Mike a motor there, and gave me some drills and spark plugs and stuff that we could use. And the Happy Irishman, he came all the way from Rhode Island to see us. And I know I'm missing somebody. I mean, there was dozens of people stopped and, you know, gave us our support and stuff. So I appreciate all that, you know. And anybody else who wants to become a patron, you know, just go to my Patreon page. I always leave a link, and every penny helps us. That's the only thing that keeps us going. The support from you guys. So, all right, enough jibber jabbing here, and I hope you know, you guys deserved an answer for this, because, like I say, I mean, it was a good kind of a curiosity. You know, I know there was no malintent or nothing. You guys just want to know why I didn't do them dents. So I hope that explains a little bit. So, as we always say, enough of this, eh? All right, see you guys later.